All right, let's talk Miami Dolphins. This is a team heading into a pivotal year, undeniably so, right? Obviously, a lot of question marks about the future of Mike McDaniel and this entire roster, the strategy they have in place. And to that end, they've got one young guy that they made a big move to go up and get in the NFL draft, and he's impressing the coaching staff up to this point. Great news for the Miami Dolphins because they need this kid to step up in a big way early on. We'll get into that report in just 1 second. But first, I'm Nick. That is Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, like I mentioned in the opening, we are heading into a pivotal season for the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, we're looking for them to win now. A lot of question marks about the long-term viability of Mike McDaniel. There's even some question marks about Tua Tagovailoa. What's the answer there? What's going on with this team? Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek Hill. A lot of long-term questions, which means that this season, 2025, is going to go a long way in determining which direction this Dolphins team is going to go into the future. And to that end, they made a big splash in the second round, selecting offensive lineman. He was a tackle his last year in college. He's going to play guard. We're talking Jonah Savaiinaea, and there's a lot of rave reviews specifically from the Dolphins coaches. That's what we love to see. Media is one thing, fans are one thing, but when the coaches are saying good things, that's a great sign. Let's get into the report right here, and we'll go into some interesting data on the other side. This is courtesy of Yahoo Sports. Jonah Savaiinaea was one of several additions to help bolster the Dolphins' play along the line of scrimmage. According to Enzo Flojo at Yahoo Sports, early returns from OTAs suggest the move might be paying dividends. Offensive line coach Butch Barry emphasized Savaiinaea's rare combination of size and athleticism. You see he's a big body guy that's really explosive, that can run heavy-handed, can anchor the pocket, but explosiveness in the run game, Barry said. Flojo also said the versatility mentioned above is a big reason why Savaiinaea stood out during reps at both left and right guard. Our standard work has to be there, and the guys are doing it, and they're responding and exceeding because at the end of the day, it's all about them being the best versions of themselves. That's offensive line coach Butch Barry finishing up there. All right, I think there's a couple of key points to really highlight on that report. One is the versatility aspect. This was a kid who played tackle the end of his career, but he's got a lot of in terms of offensive tackle, but he played a lot of guard in college, played both sides of the offensive line. He is slated to be a day one starter at right guard for the Miami Dolphins. His versatility will go a long way to allowing him to quickly transition into that position. And based on reports from the coaching staff, he's off to a great start there. But also his physical attributes are absolutely outstanding because he has a very, very high ceiling. The question is, how long will it take him to get there? And we've got some data to support how soon he will get there. But first, let's go into his versatility to highlight what we're talking about. Let's pull up this table here for people who aren't familiar. These are the snaps Savaiinaea played his 3 years in college. And you can see broken down across those three positions: left tackle, right guard, and right tackle. So again, right guard, his first year starting, he played exclusively right guard, 790 snaps. 2023, he plays primarily right tackle. So again, he shifts right guard primarily to right tackle primarily while getting a few reps in right guard. And then 2024, he splits his time between left tackle and right tackle almost equally. I just want to focus on this for just 1 second, guys. This is bonkers, right? This does not happen at any serious level of football where you have an offensive lineman that switches the position this many times and maintains any kind of level of play. It just doesn't happen, right? It's one thing to go from, let's say, well, left tackle to left guard, right? Because you have the same stance. For those who aren't familiar, your stance in terms of what foot forward, what foot back, what hand on the ground is the same on the left side, right? Left tackle and left guard. And it's going to be the opposite on the right side. So on the right side of the offensive line, you'll have your left foot up and your right hand down, opposite if you're on the left side. So changing from left to right, that's a big change. You're changing and flipping your stance completely. It's like for someone who's played offensive line, it's like learning how to, you've been written with your right hand your whole life, and now you got to write with your left hand. It's completely bonkers. It's completely hard. And Savaiinaea did it at a high level. Incredible stuff, especially in 2024. Absolutely bonkers, playing left tackle and right tackle. But what's more remarkable, not just his versatility, is that he went through all this change and got better doing it each year. Let's go into our next graphic here to highlight what we're talking about. Savaiinaea's improvement. This is his PFF grades from 2022 to 2023, 2024. Overall, run blocking, pass blocking, 2022 in blue, 23 in red, 24 in gold, and overall run blocking, pass blocking, left to right. You can see on the chart. And you can see, despite changing positions, despite going through the hardest thing you can do, switching things up his senior year, going from right tackle and left tackle in the middle of the season, you can see he got better every single season. And folks, this kid, Savaiinaea, he is 21 years old. You guys remember in 2003, Ricky Williams had a good season. Dave Wannstedt, the head coach, Dolphins won 10 games, just missed the playoffs. Folks, Savaiinaea was born after that season. That's how young this kid is. I still remember that. I remember Miami creaming Dallas on Thanksgiving, going back 20 some odd years. That's how young Savaiinaea was. He wasn't even around when that happened. He is a young kid with a great potential and a bright future, and he is improving each and every season. He is trending in the right direction. It's no doubt Butch Barry and the rest of the Dolphins coaching staff are really high on this kid. It may take, another offseason. It may take this season. I don't know. Right now, he's on a meteoric rise. I think he's going to be their day one starter at right guard. There may be a few lumps early as he figured things out, but I think very soon, if Savaiinaea can maintain this trajectory of improvement while also being the physical force that we all think he will be, he could become an elite guard for the Miami Dolphins. All right, Miles, I know you've got a few thoughts on this, but first, Dolphins fans in the comment section below, we're talking offensive linemen. Heck, we're talking guards. So we got a question for you guys. Prove how good of a fan you are. Who, your opinion, is the greatest guard in Miami Dolphins history? There's a certain guard from the 1972 Miami Dolphins, those back-to-back championship teams in the 1970s, that comes to mind for me, but maybe you got a different guy. Give me the greatest guard in Miami Dolphins history. Put him in the comment section below. But, Miles, over to you now. What are your thoughts on Jonah Savaiinaea and everything going on with the Miami Dolphins right now?
Yeah, Nick, Savaiinaea, this kid is crazy. I think you see what he does, what he's able to accomplish. Just the fact that, he switches so often through three different positions and has progressed each and every year. He never went back to back at the same position in any given year. So it's incredible that he's progressed and gotten better and better. I think that adds to that he's just a really solid football player, a young guy, like you said, who is learning and absorbing and being really good. And I want to, credit, obviously the PFF grades are indicative of him being good, but there's a couple other things I think that stand out to me is while he's switching so much, he played relatively clean football as well. He only had 5 penalties in his entire 3 years of college. So that's something that's impressive to me. Not too many holds, not, playing really sloppy football. This is a guy who, amongst switching between 3 different positions, is able to play clean football. He's able to keep the quarterback relatively clean, only 8 sacks, 2, 2, and 4 throughout his career as well. It's not like he switched a bunch of positions in 1 year, he gave up 10 sacks. No, this guy can play clean football and do some really good work. And I think when we see it, he hasn't had the time to settle into one position and really perfect it. So I think there's going to be a huge jump when he gets to the NFL and he's able to settle in to one spot in particular. Obviously, he offers a lot of versatility. He can, if you're in a pinch, he could possibly flip sides and do something at a high level. But I think once this guy gets his footing in, probably like you said, at the guard position for this Dolphins team, once he can, bear down and really focus on one position in particular, like I said, never really went the same position in back-to-back years. I think we're going to see a massive improvement out of this guy. I think he's already really good, but once he has time to focus, they say, whatever the case is, 10,000 hours to master one thing. He hasn't really gotten enough hours in any one position to truly, get his best potential out of it. I think this is an underrated guy. I think if we saw this guy maybe throughout his entire career play right guard, play tackle of some sort through all 3 years, the same position, this guy would have been a first round type of selection. But unfortunately for the rest of the league, fortunately for the Dolphins, he didn't. He bounced around a lot. He still did really good. He progressed, and I think the Dolphins got a steal of a player here in Savaiinaea. Great frame, great athletic ability. Like I said, they love the power. They love everything that he brings to the table, and just the versatility and just prowess this guy brings at the offensive line position is very, very impressive to me. I think this was an absolute home run get for the Dolphins.
And one of the things when you draft a high ceiling guy who has a lot of great physical tools, but it has a few flaws he's got to work out. He's still developing. Like we mentioned, the kid's only 21 years old. You always are very, at least for me, when I see these guys get through OTAs, I know people like to trash on what happens during OTAs, and I get it. The pads are off and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes these high ceiling guys, these great athletes, they get on the field and all you hear about is, well, we're keeping it slow. We're trying to spoon feed them. We don't want to rush them. When I hear that, alarm bells go off. I'm like, oh, yikes. That's a red flag. I look at the Las Vegas Raiders when they selected in the first round, top 10 overall, Tyree Wilson, a defensive end, extremely high ceiling guy out of Texas Tech. Everything that first offseason for him through mini camps, OTAs, training camp was, hey, we just want to keep it easy for him, teach him, bring him up to speed and all that kind of stuff. We don't want to throw too much on his plate. kid looks like a bust. Hope he turns it around. I'm rooting for him, but I think that is a big red flag when you hear an athletic, high ceiling kind of prospect, which obviously Savaiinaea was, number 37 overall. With some of the flaws that he had in some areas he needs to improve. We're not hearing any of the things we heard from guys like Tyree Wilson. The coaching staff loves him. They're giving him a lot of reps and opportunities. Players seem to catch on. You got media reports that he's doing well. Big physical presence. He's as advertised. That's some of the things that can happen as well. You draft a big physical offensive lineman who's got a lot of great physical tools, and he looks that way. But when you get him on the field, he doesn't play that way stylistically, or he carries himself poorly. That's another red flag. Not seeing any of that with Savaiinaea at this point. Now, again, as I have to caveat every single time, it's early. We get it. We're going to get the guys in the comment section. Oh, it's OTAs. It doesn't matter. I know. We all know. But the reality is, it's so true. Good players are good during the regular season. They're also usually good during training camp and the preseason and OTAs. Good players tend to be doing good things all of the time, right? That's usually how it works. If you're good at anything, you're good at it all of the time. Savaiinaea, it's early, is doing good things for the Dolphins up front, if you listen to Butch Berry specifically, and frankly, anyone with the Dolphins organization. We'll have to wait and see if we can continue that trend, but there are no bad signs yet when it comes to this guy. Nothing but positivity, and it's a clear thing. We talk about it all the time. If you start good, if you start OTAs and mini camps in the right direction, odds are you'll have a great opportunity to earn playing time during the regular season, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Jonah Savaiinaea. And if the data is any indication, and there's no reason to doubt it isn't, he will only get better and better with the more reps he gets.